YouTube? Welcome back to Dwayne's World. So, I've been putting out quite a bit of content, or at least I feel like it's quite a bit of content. My days have definitely been nonstop from morning to night, just putting together all the video and, taking care of family and life, obviously. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody. The support has been absolutely amazing. People that have reached out to me that I don't even know, that have asked questions, that have, given me feedback and suggestions on all of the forums, and not just YouTube comments in general, just even from friends and family, So I definitely appreciate everybody's support, everybody's willingness to really want to help me succeed with this. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed what I've put out there. I would say though that a lot of the information I'm putting out there in my videos, and I'd love to hear from you guys on this, is in some cases I know when looking at other videos online, is that my videos are longer. I don't know if you like that or not, tell me in the comments below, let me know. And the reason why I put so much content out there is meaning from the standpoint of how much information is in each video, is because I'm a detailed person. That's the way my brain works. I like to understand the details. I like to understand the mechanics. I like to understand all of the how-to and what goes into, whether it be a nice reel mower, whether it be a nice lawn, regardless of what you're working on, to me, what's important is it's all about the details. So that's why, I've been putting together these videos to really kind of help people when they have questions. Like I always have questions, I can look at any particular video and kind of walk away from that video saying, well, what about this? Or what about that? So I try to answer as many of those questions as possible, or even questions you may not even have had. And that's the purpose of why some of my videos are probably longer than others. But if you don't like that, that's okay. Go ahead and comment down below, and I will do my best to be able to edit that content and really bring it down and really bring the scope down to where you guys would enjoy it more. So what I want to just kind of point out and kind of walking around the lawn here is that over the last few days, we've had really weird weather. One of the things I'll tell you about California, at least where I live, is that whenever we get a rainstorm that comes in, regardless of the amount of rain, we always get a bad windstorm right before it. I have a lot of trees in my backyard, and neighbors have trees, and as you guys can see there, and actually I'm dealing with probably a dead tree there. It's been battling all year, but we get a lot of leaves shedding. So what do I do normally? Normally this is where I break out the rotary mower, which works great, to be able to suck up all these leaves. What I decided to do today, what I thought you guys would probably enjoy, if you noticed on that last video I released, I talked about the grass catcher. Not only did I talk about the grass catcher, I talked about reel rollers, grass topper. So this is it. I'm going to show you guys that grass topper in action today. So one of the things I want to make very clear is that do not take what I'm telling you today as I can use my reel mower just like I do my rotary mower to be able to pick up leaves. That's not what I'm trying to say in this video. In fact, that's probably what I would really discourage people to do. Now, what I may also do, and I'm kind of debating here, after my last video, I know I talked about height of cut. I may take it down, and not necessarily with the reasoning of taking it down to a certain height where I'm going to keep it at that height. But generally with Bermuda, if you want to maintain a height, you at least want to start with if not a scalp, and I don't want a scalp, maybe a hard cut of a notch right below of where you want to maintain, and let your grass grow back up and continue to maintain at that level. That is the proper way, in my opinion, to how you set your height of cut in Bermuda, versus if you want a 3/4 inch height to just strictly stay at 3/4 inch. All right, so let's talk about what today's video is going to be all about. It is going to be about the grass topper made by Reel Rollers. So a little bit of backstory. I've owned this since the date that they released it. I remember I was surfing through YouTube, as most people do, and most of you do, I'm sure. I noticed that Reel Rollers had a new video out talking about a grass topper. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I think it was literally 30 seconds into that video, I'm already on their website ordering it up. Now, I did buy it. Like, there's not a paid sponsorship by any means. I love the guys over at Reel Rollers. They sell a great roller. If you need a roller, go pick one up from them. Definitely anytime somebody asks me, where should I get a roller? Where should I get certain parts? That's one of the companies I'm going to recommend is Reel Rollers, depending on the application. But again, this is purely a review of my own. Has nothing to do with Reel Rollers. So I'm going to show you today in my Mow today how well it performs. There's a couple things I just kind of want to quickly point out and how you install it. It's not difficult at all. The one recommendation that they do make in the instructions of when you get it, if you notice on the cow trimmer basket, there's this hole, and this hole on the side where your hook's attached to, and there's the corresponding holes on that side as well. When you typically get your cow trimmer basket from factory, it's in that second hole. Real Rollers recommends that you move it up one. Now, why did they do that? Why would you want to move that bracket, and what benefit does that have? Well, when looking at it and kind of really understanding this grass topper and or how it's, in my opinion, how it's working, is that a lot of it is based on the angle of the basket. And let me kind of get down here so you can kind of see. So the better angle you have where that grass is actually shooting in that more of that upward position, the better result you're going to have with it actually landing into the grass catcher. Full disclosure, I do also have a grass topper for my McLean mower as well. And I'm going to do a separate video for that so you guys can kind of see, and we'll be able to take the two videos and kind of compare them and see which one actually performs better, performs worse, or maybe the same, right? So let me quickly just talk to you guys how we go about installing or placing it on here. And I'm going to go ahead and just move my camera just so you guys can see it. All right, so before I show you guys the grass topper installed and in action, which I know you guys want to see, I want to just quickly talk about the construction. I love the fact that they put this little buckle up top. The buckle allows you to be able to adjust this strap around the side of the that runs all the way around the side of the grass topper, and that's really meant to be there so you can snug it up and really get a tight fit all the way around your grass catcher. So I love that, just because, you know, that's something I was initially concerned about, is how well it would actually fit around the grass catcher. What also kind of brings it home and completes the fit around the grass catcher are these little hooks that they have installed at the bottom of them, which is going to be closest to the reel side. So that basically latches onto the grass catcher, and that's what firmly, securely holds it in place. The other thing I want to point out is this little mesh that they put in behind or as part of the top of the grass topper. It's great because you're able to kind of see through that and really be able to kind of tell how much grass you have in there, but also realize that it's very important for airflow. So you want to make sure air is actually being able to flow through this, so this grass topper here doesn't go flying off. So with that, let me go ahead and show you what it looks like installed here. It literally takes less than 10 seconds to put on the grass topper. But basically what you do is you're going to install it. I normally start from the top here. And again, I'm just going to basically lay it on top. It basically goes around the lip of the grass catcher, as you can see there. Again, if I want to tighten that up on each side, I can basically just pull on that strap as I mentioned earlier. But at the bottom of the grass topper here, and I kind of wanted to show you guys, it attaches with those hooks there, as I mentioned, that actually secure around it. So again, if I want to make that a little bit tighter, I can definitely tighten that up at the top, but I think it's pretty good. It should work well for what I'm trying to do here. Okay, and with that, let's get it mowing. All right, let me just turn off the mower here just so you guys can see what it looks like up to this point. You may be thinking, Dwayne, what's going on there? It is not catching the grass in the grass catcher like you mentioned that it would. Let me kind of explain a couple things here. First of all, the catcher is practically full at this point, or very close to it. You know, I think that's an important fact to think about when you're seeing the grass here up top, is that the majority of the grass is not on top. The majority of the grass is in the catcher. And I really know that, and I really believe that. You are going to catch some grass on top here. Now, I wanted to always, whenever I do any type of review, or I'm kind of sharing my experience with people, I always kind of show like the worst case example. And the reason why is because I kind of want to understand it, you know, at all levels and what the different experiences people have are. When I cut and maintain my grass at the proper height of cut for my lawn, which is generally, again, 5/8 to 3/4, based on, you know, the way it looks. You know, when I'm not breaking that 1/3 rule and I'm really mowing often, it looks nothing like this. I maybe get, you know, a little bit of grass here on the side, but it doesn't look like anything like this. The reason why it looks the way it does is, and I've said this to even people that have a grass topper and what their experiences are, is that when you're cutting a lot of grass off, and I mean a lot, and I'm doing a hard cut today, as you guys can see, a lot of grass is coming off. This is typically, the only other time I'd probably be taking off more grass than this is, you know, with an actual hard scalp. Outside of that, generally, you know, it doesn't look anything like this. But that's why today I wanted to do this height of cut reset by doing this hard cut, and at the same time show you the grass topper in action and what to expect. All right, I think I finally figured it out. Now I know why they call it hard cut, because it's hard work. I'm tired. But let me kind of just show you guys really quickly here. This is about halfway done. If you look on this side here, this is still yet to be mowed. On the opposite side there, that has been mowed. So let me turn the camera around. Let me kind of show you guys what it looks like. Do have some pretty good stripe action going on there. Looks like we have a little bit of a cheater stripe right there. I'm gonna have to fix that guy. But outside of that, stripe action looks like it's on point, even with the hard cut. Looks good. I can't complain about that stripe action. But as you can see there is absolutely some scalping that's going on. Again, this is on purpose. I'm doing this for you guys, so you guys can see how you do a proper height of cut reset. And again, I'm not going to maintain it at this height. I'm going to let it grow up a little higher and probably maintain it around 3/4 inch. All right, so let's get back to the mow. All right, I apologize for the bad audio on this clip, but I'm gonna go ahead and empty my grass catcher again. But I wanted to show, like, that trash can is almost full. And I've mowed a little bit more than half, maybe 2/3 of my lawn. If I was doing a full scalp, I could fill up 3 of these. But at the same time, this one was just a hard cut, and I'm probably at the end of it gonna be about, you know, a trash can and a half of green clippings. So again, before you guys say the grass catcher is not catching, that is a lot more than I would have caught had I not used the grass catcher. All right, again, the thing I love about it, really being able to just empty it all right into the can. Back on the mower. There she is. All hard cut up with the cow trimmer 7 blade, with the groove roller, and with that fancy accessory up top, the grass topper. In a minute, I'm going to talk about my final comments on the grass topper. You guys kind of saw it in action there. Based on some of that video footage, you may have a mixed opinion, but I'm going to share my official opinion with the grass topper here in a moment here, and it may actually surprise you guys. I'm debating whether or not to put any fertilizer down. You know, the grass has been looking really good, so I don't know if I necessarily need it. I may throw down a low rate. You know, got a couple tricks in the bag there. But you're gonna have to wait till my next video or one of my next videos to find out if and what I use to fertilize my lawn. But again, I just wanted to show again to everybody, there's nothing wrong with this cut. I could leave it at this height if I wanted to. But like I said earlier, I'm probably going to bump it up a little bit to 3/4 height. So that way I think it's going to get much better color. I really like the color at 3/4 cut, actually. You can see here, even though like a lot of the lawn may be discolored from this hard cut, there's a lot of green on the lawn as well. And that's what the point of a hard cut is. It's not that you're doing a scalp. If I was doing a scalp, this would all this green would be gone. So by doing that hard cut, you know, you can still see some of the green, and the green looks pretty good. But I would say the green looks better. It looks better at 3/4 inch, or even maybe higher than that. But 3/4 inches, I think, where that kind of the happy spot is for me. All right, so now let me talk about the Real Rollers grass topper. As I think more of you guys might be interested in what my opinion is. You could form your own opinion when you watch the video. Some people may say, Dwayne, that's not a good top. It doesn't look like a good product. I beg to differ. I actually think it's a great product. And the reason why I say that, even though you may think, based on that video and based on what you saw, that it doesn't perform well, it performs very well. So let me point out again, makes it so much easier to empty the grass catcher in the first place. Love that. That reason alone, I would probably invest in a grass topper. Number two, the majority of the grass, even though you saw grass up top, went into the catcher. And that's very important. You know, so even if I lost 10% on top, who cares? Number three, and this is probably one of the most important things from a health standpoint for me, is I can be asthmatic, allergy that is, allergy asthmatic, if that's a word, or diagnosis. I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me there. But when I don't use a grass topper, the grass, especially if you're scalping, and I was doing somewhat of a mild scalp today, you know, the dust just blows everywhere. And it gets in your eyes, and gets in your mouth, and gets in your nose. You know, I'm basically tasting grass when I mow with the grass catcher. And for me, when I use the grass topper, it eliminates so much of that. It's kind of like as if I put a mask on to a certain extent, even though we're in this pandemic still. I can freely mow without necessarily breathing in all the grass clippings that I was not using the grass topper. And my fourth and final point to the grass topper is that I think what Real Rollers has done here is they've taken the design that cow trimmer has, that True Cut has, that maybe in some ways McLean, and McLean I'm going to just hold off here for a second to kind of include in that group for a moment. And they've taken what was a really, really bad, and quote me on that, bad grass catcher and made it much more functional and usable. I think a lot of people that have True Cuts, a lot of people have cow trimmers, do not use the grass catcher because of the design of it. It's very flat, it's very shallow, and that's why grass goes everywhere. So I don't necessarily fault, and I don't fault Real Rollers for a design flaw that cow trimmer and True Cut are responsible for. In fact, what they did is they really tried to problem solve it and really tried to take a product that maybe wasn't usable and at least has made it to the point where now it is usable and something people probably grab when they do choose to catch their clippings. If I wasn't catching clippings today, it would not, the lawn would look horrible. You know, I'm happy with the way the lawn looks now. Like even if you look, remember how I had all those leaves and everything behind? I still got to blow. I haven't even blowed at all right now. So because I haven't even blowed the lawn, the grass still looks great. It looks like I used the rotary mower on my lawn, and I didn't. Again, this opinion is truly mine, just mine alone. No one told me to say this. You know, I like Real Rollers. I wear their hat because I like the product. No one has called me from Real Rollers. Nobody has said, Dwayne, can you do this review? I paid for that grass topper with my own money. I would buy it again. And I think that's always kind of the test, so to speak. Would you pay for it again? And I absolutely would pay for it again. People may say, well, $60, geez, that seems like a lot of money for something that doesn't seem to work that great. Well, no, in my opinion, it works great. But even if you felt that it didn't, $60, $1,400 lawnmower. You know, you want to get that much better of ownership out of it, get the grass topper. That's my opinion. And with that, be excellent and party on.